Okay, this is pretty much just the bonus features. We're going through and seeing everything that happened in the end of this first season. So, the demographics. So this shows all of the different categories and how we ranked in them. So we ranked number 1 in everything except for soldiers. I never even saw them, so it's kind of funny. I don't even know how far ahead she was, so pretty much average you can ignore, but we have the best and the worst. So this shows all my statistics, and this shows hers. So my population was over twice the size of hers, which makes sense because the Middle East is a lot bigger. Okay, I mean, obviously this doesn't require it to be accurate to history in any means, but I just think it's kind of funny. So I had 50 million people, which isn't too bad. Crop yield, I had 288 million bushels. She had 132. Of course, I had a lot larger population, so it makes sense. Manufactured goods, I got 150 million tons. She had 97, and she industrialized 30 years before me, so it's kind of surprising. The GNP, I had 770 million gold. She only had 251, and I had a lot more as well, so it's pretty crazy. Land, I had so much land, so I thought that she had a bigger place, but she had, in comparison, it was pretty small. She only had a third of the place, so my place was 3 times as big. And I suppose a lot of this is also all the water that's surrounded my area as well. Soldiers, I only had 124. I only had 157,000. No, I had 124, she had 157,000. I apologize. So not too far off, and I only had a few, so I only had infantry in each place, and then my ceremonial artillery, so I don't see how we were that close. She must have only had like 1 or 2 more soldiers than me. Approval, we were both 100%, so we're both kind of equal on that. Literacy, I was at 76%, she was at 72%, so both fairly similar as well. So we both did pretty good. I ranked at Charlemagne. Let my armies be the rocks and trees and the birds in the sky. So I got a score of 1978, which isn't too bad. So yeah. So in order to get to rank 4, you'd have to do above 1900. So pretty good. Pretty close to getting Abraham Lincoln, but and then we'll go through the replay really quickly. This is through all the messages. If you wanted to just look at all the messages, this tells what turn it was, and etc., etc. So obviously turn 1, all of our places was founded. So she found a city very early on, her second city. But I'm going to go through the graphs really quickly. So we can add all the city-states as well. So, see, this is when I took over Sydney, so she didn't take over any of the other city-states, but, so this show is based on score, but I like looking at other things other than score, so, I'll do total land. So this shows how big our empires were. Hers spiked right here, but I think this is when she founded her first city, and then I found my city, and then I found another one, so... And this just shows them all through, obviously these didn't grow very much, and then mine reached its limit. I couldn't expand any further because, I was as big as I could get based on my limited, land I had. And then she reached hers a long time before, so I want to see what her place looked like. Our total gold, no one had that much gold at the very beginning, but that's obvious. Mine started to gradually rise, and then it just like exponentially rose. And then I realized how much money I had. I looked up in the corner and then I was like, oh my goodness, I have so much money. So I started spending it and just buying everything else, and then I couldn't really buy anything else, and then it grew again. So pretty interesting. Total culture, this is how I won. This graph is pretty crazy. So she took the lead early on, and then I took it for a brief amount of time, then she took it for a very brief amount of time. we just went back and forth pretty much throughout the entire game of who was leading until this point right here. So until about the 1800s, I took it and I kept it for most of the time. She would get ahead of me for a little time, and then I'd go back ahead again. So obviously every time it sharply goes down is when we founded a new policy. So it goes up and then you find a new policy. So however many times, the frequency of the dash marks is how many policies we got, and you see that we got a lot more at the very end because I started focusing on culture, and hers kind of widens out a little bit because I suppose she started focusing on other things. So we could look at how many it is per turn. I'll do population. So our population, she was actually a lot more populous than me for a while, and it was about until this date. It doesn't tell me exactly what that date is, but it was around this date that I took the lead, and then obviously it went up. Numbers of workers, the most workers anyone had was 3. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Number of policies, this goes hand in hand with the social, and we're actually really close until the very end, and then I got ahead, so she could have won by her policies fairly easily as well. She's pretty close to getting it, only 2 away. Number of known technologies, she actually beat me on this one, I think. I was fairly low on this list throughout the entire game, so the only one below me was Edinburgh, I think. No, it was, oh no, England was below me, so all of the city-states did really well on the technologies for some reason. Number of cities, I built 5 cities, so she only had 2. She only had 2 cities, so military might, was a lot more military, she had a lot more military might than me. I didn't build much more military after that point. There's no reason for me to. Golden Age turns, so you could see the spikes is when our golden ages were, so I had a first golden age before her. Then she had 1, she had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a really short one, and then 7 before I had my second, so she had 7 golden ages before I had my second huge golden age, and she had one much bigger than me at the same time, so. And then, of course, she had another really tiny one, and then I had another one, and then I had a humongous one, which was the biggest of all of them, and then I had another one, so pretty much it didn't even end here, just constant golden age. Excess happiness, she was a lot more happier than me for a long time, until the very end, around right here, right about 2000, and then I just spiked up within a few, like 20 years, my happiness quadrupled itself. Okay, so, and then I'll look at the map. So this shows, a really poor quality, where we were all located. So I was here, she was on this little island, so there's 3 areas. This isn't representative of Earth at all, so this is just random continents that were generated. So this was their place, and this was mine. So if I would have went to the east, I could have found her fairly easily, but I didn't have enough technology to cross this little strip of ocean, so we're going to play this and look at it. So you can see how fast it goes in the bottom left corner, how many turns it passed. So she expands fairly quickly. She already built her second city here. She's almost taken over this entire area. If she would have been more aggressive, she would have won. I have 3 cities already. I already was at war with Sydney for a long time here. She still is only at 2, but she's already almost taken over this entire area. I just took over Sydney, and then I built my last city, and I'm working on taking over this entire area, which is a lot bigger than hers, as you can see. She could have easily started taking over these little islands and then taken over land up here, or she could have attacked these places from a very early state, but she didn't. That's what I would have done. Of course, I reached my maximum limit. There is no more I could build after this point. And my territory started slowly expanding at the water's edge, but there wasn't much more I could do. Her culture started becoming so powerful, it started taking over a few cities of their little areas, but not too dramatically, and they just took over a couple more behind them anyway, so it didn't affect them that much. You could see that my ocean expansion even went over here, so you can see how close my expansion got to hers even. It was only within a couple of places, so. And at the very end, this is what it looked like. So I pretty much had half of the world without even knowing it. Her place dwarfed in comparison to mine. So I had 5 cities, and they had 5 cities, and my total area was bigger than all of theirs combined twice. So I didn't think that I won by that much. I didn't see any of this the entire game because I couldn't reach here, so or else I would have went here and probably have taken over some of this land. I would have at least taken over this. So anyway, I'll press that again. Thank you for watching, and it was really fun, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. It paused, I apologize, whatever, I thought it might have went further. Anyway, it was a really great game, and hopefully we can play more in the future. It will be really fun. I really like this game. Civilizations has been one of my favorite games ever throughout even when I was a child, so I really hope to play more of it because I enjoy it, and I hope others enjoy it as well. I don't see many people playing Civilizations on YouTube, so I just thought maybe someone would enjoy it, so there you go. I probably won't make too many more of them though, because they take so long, so, and they can get kind of boring because it's not very high, fast-paced or anything. But Civilizations 5, you can buy it online, buy it on, I'm not even sure, I don't think you can buy it on Steam, but I'm fairly sure you can buy it on Origin, so it's pretty fun. If you really wanted it, you could find it fairly easily. I might put a link in the description, possibly, in this video. So, because obviously if you watch this video, then you're really interested, so. But, thank you for watching. Leave a comment on what you think I could have done better, or if you want to watch more, what you want to watch. And I'll see you later, or you'll see me later. Bye.